and Miss Elizabeth Walker. Awesome.
We have to undo. We have Elizabeth Walker.
Hi, Miss Lehman. Hi, Miss Walker.
How you doing?
Doing good.
You don't have to wear the mask in Zoom, do you?
You don't have to wear the mask. We do, because we're all meeting in person. I have everybody here, as you can see. Let me move this back.
I wish I could have been
So
there.
over there.
Hi, Mary. I see Mary back there walking around.
Yeah. I have Mr. Hammond over here. I don't know if you can see.
Hey, Meryl.
Mr. Rosas is over there.
Hi, Mr. Rosa. Nice to see you.
Sosa is over here.
Hello.
And Shannon's walking around, so she's somewhere here.
Okay.
So we'll see. We're going to start in a few moments.
Okay. Don't look at my messy room.
And then if you guys can't hear, just let me know. I'm gonna ask the members to speak pretty loud, but we're quite a distance. Of course, we maintain the 6 feet apart, right?
Yeah.
So if you can't hear them, let me know, and I'll ask them to speak a little bit louder.
No
And
problem.
or you can just send something in the chat, and we'll read it out loud for everybody to hear.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Rosas, I also have Marina Zolezi.
Hi, good afternoon. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Marina Zolezi.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Hi, ma'am. Miss Walker. There'd be something. We're enjoying ourselves here. We tried to attempt to do something like that, but it's a lot. Oh yeah, it's a lot. We're as always, we're down. Oh yeah. Do you want to update your email, sir? No. I can print out an agenda for him, yes. No, that's not the agenda. I know. Hopefully not. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Everybody should have a copy of the minutes. Take a minute to read them, and we'll have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes if they are.
Do you have a second? All right. All in favor?
Hi.
No public comments?
Okay, our next item is library services during COVID-19.
First of all, good afternoon. My name is Juan Guerra. I'm library director. And I'm gonna have my friend with me, Frank Sanchez with the library consultant, to present our services during this time in COVID. An opportunity for us to change our services, and when we open, we're gonna continue the services thus in.
So as Mr. Eder mentioned, we have had to modify our services to the times that we're going through. And so a lot of it has been converted to either curbside or digital services. So some of our curbside services include the cafe to go, and then we also have wireless print using our printer on service. We of course have checking out material, which is either physical or they can also use our digital services such as Access 360 for our ebooks and audios. We also have RB Digitals for magazines, and you are also able to use our digital resources, including tutor.com. We have Mango Languages, and we're also now able to go ahead and issue out digital library cards. We've also now become a distribution center for masks. The city did have a program, a contest, and some of those masks have been printed, and we have been distributing them to our patrons, both at the main library and here at South Coast. And then for a while, we also went ahead and were able to give out some business masks as well. We just quite recently went ahead and actually ran out of those. In-house programs that we are currently having are our take and make crafts. Those have become very popular. Besides handing them out to our patrons that come here for our curbside services, we have also begun distributing them to our local daycare centers, and also some schools have been coming to request them from us. We've also, for the holidays, this past Halloween, we made gift bags in which we included a book, some candy, and toys as our form of trick or treat for any of our patrons that stop by during the entire week of Halloween, not just on that day. And then, of course, we do have our virtual programs, which do include our story time, Let's Get Cooking, Science Day. We've also have instructional videos, tutorial videos as well. And recently, we also, when we went ahead and post the library to our patrons, we did start Live Answers, which is virtual assistance, so we could help them out that way. The next thing that we have is that we do have some pilot programs that we've started, including Check Out a Librarian, and that's more of a one-on-one interaction between our librarian, in which, depending on the need of the patron, that is what they're being helped with. And quite recently, also, we began an Instagram live story time. And so that's basically our programming. Any questions?
Are you having fun to veterans go to the drive-through?
Yes, we actually do have we get an average of anywhere, here at this library, we get an average anywhere between 10 to 20. And I do know that at our main branch, we do get more, that we can average up to about 30 a day.
Is that through the, I guess like the application for the services online that you're talking about? Do they check it online somehow, or do they just kind of just?
Well, for our Live Answers, it's an online app. They can access it through our website and to go ahead and ask the questions that they need. And it could be anything from how do I print using our printer on app, or it could also be how do I put items on hold. And we'll go ahead and do it that way. Patrons are also able to access just placing a hold themselves, and we're constantly checking our system to see if those items are there, and so we can grab them and give them a call so they can come pick them up.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. Our next item, discussion and action on the library system analysis report.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a big report that I don't expect to go over today. Good for your, you have a chance to go over it, one page analysis of our services that were done about 4 or 5 months ago. But after you have more, that you have it. So I'm gonna ask the board to Just read it when you have a chance. I'm gonna highlight some of the points, and then I can gladly, at a later date, I can answer some questions. I don't wanna take most of your time. Uh, Most definitely, it was a very eye-opening. So we started an analysis of the library services. There was three comparisons done. The first one was the library system as a whole, meaning the main branch of the South, compared to other libraries in Texas. Same size as far as square footage, but also size of population. And those libraries were Brownsville, McAllen, Laredo, and those. The other report was done, the other comparison was done to Southwood itself with other libraries. Remember, Southwood is a branch library, but the main branch is a branch library. But the Southwood was a comparison between Southwood as a standalone with other libraries in Texas with the same population service and the same square footage of 20,000, not too many. And those libraries were obviously Southwood, Texarkana, Rosstown, Eagle Pass, Belleville, Orange, San Juan, Texas, City, and Kirby. And then also, finally, we also did a comparison of Southwood with just libraries in Cameron County to include the main branch. Basically, Southwood with Harlingen, San Benito, La Feria, Los Fresnos, Port Isabel, Laguna Vista, and Rio Hondo. So again, we actually hired a statistics consultant, and he gave us a report. And again, it's right there. But let me highlight on certain things. The Roman Public Library, and the figures I'm going to tell you is 2018. 2019, at the time that we did this report, had not come out. It's 2018. At a total of 254,000 registered users. In our population served, meaning the state assigned to the Roman Public Library system, were 259,300. In all this report, it stated that Southern has the highest library visits in Texas compared to other libraries with similar square footage. It also says the Farm Public Library had 105 increase in reference transactions. That is one of the things that I take pride in. Basically, reference transactions is when the public comes in, or librarians or staff interact with them. You have above and beyond everybody else, anyone, even with a big library. And then also one of the things that was very pointed was the Wi-Fi section. Both branches have more Wi-Fi sessions than all of Cameron County libraries combined, not individually combined. In 2018, we had 184,000 total computer sessions. Both libraries. Southern has the highest Wi-Fi usage per capita in Cameron County. Now, unfortunately, that's partly higher, but you can call the board that the perimeter is gated after it's closed. So if you can leave it open, more people will use the Wi-Fi coming closer to the building. Per capita, the Southernmost branch had more than 100 greater Wi-Fi usage than its population size. And just for record, we use 40,270 as the figure that this library serves, from international all the way to the Southern Public System. So that's 40,000 based on what's standard farming data. Also, Southern has the second largest library visits per capita in Cameron County. Southern has twice the available items to check out per capita than the main library. Southern has a more reference transactions than any other library in Cameron County, with the exception of Brownsville. Besides the Brownsville main library in Farmington, Southern leads all other Cameron County libraries in items checked out. Per capita, Southern library has the most items checked out other than library Farmington for leading library. That's the positive. The negatives are that we need to increase more power. A lot of kids come over, parents, and we didn't have enough power. When the library was built in 2005, we had very minimal power. Cell phone was not, almost anybody has a cell phone. So that's one of the things that we found out. There was no teen area. Now you're sitting in one of them. We need to expand our collection. Even though it's 40,000, we have we have 50,000 items, not including electronics. But also one thing very important that we're also doing is addressing later is that we need to build a relationship with community stakeholders. So that's one of the things that did come up, that perhaps we need to ask from a different perspective in the library administration. So we were tasked to basically ask you guys, the board, and I'm not address that in another, is to establish a community task force committee. For not only us, not only administration, in fact, this task force is not gonna be myself or administration, it's probably gonna be maybe a full-time employee, maybe one or two of you guys, uh, maybe one was from the friends of the library, and from the foundation, maybe a city employee, but also the most important thing, a concerned parent, concerned child, concerned teacher, so they can see a different perspective that maybe we didn't see. So that's one of the things that we report in our team. So I don't want to go more into detail about it, because I don't want to continue, and we will be on the other agenda on the community task force. So I'm going to ask you, make it a discussion, how many members, and they're going to report to you, and then you do the advice. Any questions? Again, the report is there with a lot of statistics. And I'm glad to entertain as much as I can right now, and not by email or comments. But it was very informative. It really put things in perspective for us. So I would ask the board to approve the report, or discuss and then approve, and then you can ask me questions.
You want us to study it or you want to approve it now?
You can approve it now, table it, you can approve it later. Once the
Very
application-
detailed, very, very good.
Are there any comments or questions from board members?
Well, I'd like to review it in further, like, if we
Yes.
could maybe delay it till the next meeting for
Yeah.
approval. But I did want to make a comment that I'm so glad that a study happened, because, I mean, it makes sense, a lot of times Southwest is compared to the main branch, because they're the two libraries in the same system. And so I think it's important that Southmost, if they compare it rather apples to oranges, it's apples to apples. So comparing it to other libraries of similar sizes that serve similar populations in the state of Texas gives a better perspective on how well the
You're gonna have
branch.
to speak up just a bit more.
I'm just glad that the report took the time to go through and compare Southmost Branch to a similar size library in another community, as opposed to simply always putting it in comparison to the main branch. Because we don't get a really, the same perspective, because we don't serve the same patron base at the main branch, even though it's the same county and the same city. People who seek out services there are not the same people that always seek out services here. And so I think that it's great that we actually have some information that's meaningful to carry forward, where we can say, okay, this is how we're doing when compared to other branch libraries of this size in the state of Texas. So I'm just grateful to have that information. Even if it's a couple years old, I think it's still applicable. I mean, maybe not in COVID, but a lot of it, I think it rings true. And since part of our last meeting did discuss whether or not we were meeting the needs of patrons in Southmost compared to the services we were providing at the main branch, I think this is timely. So I'm just very glad for the information.
I have a question. I see there's a lot of data comparing Southmost to other libraries of the size, but I don't see that for the main branch. And I see in the back you have Southmost and the main branch for Cameron County, but not for other libraries like you do for Southmost.
Okay, so, I mean, Southmost had to be, it couldn't be compared to medium, because it's not apples and oranges, because of the population size and square footage. So we had to, a decision was made, same size of, for square footage, but also the population square. And Southmost compared with other libraries in the county, including the name, but for the second one, or the Southmost with other individual libraries on the same site. And we
So
don't
why
want
wasn't the main branch compared to other libraries of the same size?
it was in the first one, the very initial,
Where? I didn't see it.
the very initial one. Was compared to McAllen.
So we're bigger than McAllen.
Not necessarily, McAllen is 128,000 square feet.
No, but our population's a lot bigger than McAllen, isn't it?
No, 259, right to 220, this is the population. Kind of close.
But where's all the data that you have for South Mode for the main branch?
No, for the first one, it's just the whole system, combined with the first one was,
Well, why can't you do that for the main branch? The same data that you did for South Mode, why can't you do that for the main branch as well?
we can do that.
I'm not saying you have to, I'm just saying, you know, it give you an idea of the overall, and maybe you could combine.
Because the figures are there, Mr. Hammond, we just want to compare the system. And McAllen has 3 branches. Maine has 2. Laredo has 5. So we just,
We better get busy on the third branch, I mean, second branch.
and I'm gonna
Get
read.
the land. We're gonna get the land first.
If anybody have any more questions on this, I'm gonna take this again, but this is personally, when we open back again, hopefully soon. I want this to be a brand new, like a brand new, you were impressed. Like, I want the picture to be impressed when they see it. So that's one of the things that is exciting about this thing, again, the positive. And so we want to have that mentality of bring everybody in it, ribbon cutting, opening it up again. Basically, it started here. So that's one of the things that hopefully the task force can help us do that.
I have a question.
Sure.
Regarding phase 1.
Pardon?
Regarding phase 1, it says the cost estimate for phase 1 is $100,000. Is that coming from the city or who
Yes.
expense?
Yes,
So that's already been allocated?
yes,
or-
I believe so, yes.
Is there any other way that the library generates revenue other than from the city of Brownsville?
We try to get grants. It's very hard to get grants for infrastructure. We could get grants for books, but the most important thing is to get grants for expanding the envelope that we have. So, yeah, definitely, we definitely want grants, and we're trying to.
Right. And those are the only 2 ways?
County, we put it in the funding, but most of the funding for county is for programming.
Any other questions or comments on the report? So we'll approve it at the next meeting.
Depending on the chance.
Do we have a motion to that effect, or?
Yeah, the motion for, to table till next meeting, so we can have a chance to look
All right,
over
we have a motion to approve this for next meeting, give everybody a chance to go through it. Is there a second? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, item 6, discussion and action on South Coast layout for the board.
Okay, once again, one of the things that I'd like to do is, introduce staff to the board meetings. Normally it would be me or Jerry. But this project was very important, and Leo was he spearheaded this project, moving 50,000 items without any accident through shelves was a massive effort that cannot be taken lightly. The painting, Brandon and I just got told we got a painter to do it, but the actual physical to coordinate staff, that's without, I mean, we have planned about a month or so, we did it 2.5 weeks, I think. 1.5 weeks. Wow, even more better. So please bear with him, he's gonna make a presentation for you guys.
And for those who are attending Zoom, I'm going to go ahead and put the presentation on. I'm going to share the screen.
Hello, everybody. My name is Leo. I work here at Southmost. I'm a librarian. And today I kind of want to tell you a little bit about kind of the Southmost story and how the layout that you see today kind of came to be. There was a lot of changes that kind of happened throughout the last couple of months that I'm going to kind of explain about. So the first item that we tackled was the Friends of the Library bookstore. So if you guys recall, it was actually most of the building was yellow or no color actually on the wall. So the Friends was redone with new flooring and new lighting and a new paint job. So you get a little glimpse of what we have now on this picture right here. So you'll see the green, the laminate wood flooring, and then there's new lighting up on top to kind of give a new feel to that room. And then here, actually just last week, our technical services department came over and they put together all of the items in the bookstore along with the price tag as well. So that is almost ready for when we do open up, just to welcome the patrons back with a new bookstore. So after that, we tackled the ceiling. If you recall, the ceiling was white. The light fixtures were actually maybe about 5 feet below what they are right now. So they were all raised, and then the ceiling was blacked out to accommodate for future plans that we have with that wall mirror that's coming. So that was done with the ceiling. And then we move over to the Reader Smart Cafe. So in here we carried the purple on top, and then inside the Reader Smart Cafe, it is a vibrant blue. And similarly to the bookstore, we also changed up the lighting in there. So now it is all LED lights, so it gives it a different feel. So after this, as you'll see, most of the building was transformed through the color choices that we picked. And the multi-purpose room, which we use for several programs that we have throughout the year, which includes movie nights, was actually also redone with new color inside, which you'll see right here. So this is the old, and now this is the new down here. And then the next couple of slides also highlight the Internet Resource Center, which is where patrons can access the computer and printing services. So this room was actually the old carpet was removed, and we placed new carpet not only in the Internet Resource Center, but along with the 2 classrooms in the entrance. So those all have new carpeting. And then as you can see when you guys entered, this back wall was all painted red, which now houses the new children's apartment. The south wall, which is back here, all purple, which now houses the adult collection along with the audio and visual DVDs. And then this is the back wall that you see here. There was actually all of this got carried up to the top. Now it's covered to also accommodate for a future mural that we're planning. And then here it is again. And the entryway is pretty cool because it's gonna act somewhat of a kind of like a welcome back to the patrons. Because if you notice, as soon as the patrons come in, they'll be able to tell that all the colors are new, as you can see them kind of all in one shot. So after, or actually not after, during painting and the electricians being here and a lot of work was being done, we actually were also planning on the rearrangement of the collections. So before, this is what we had. So this area used to house the juvenile fiction, and then we used to have this area right here as young adult, and then the adult collection was back by the red back here. And some of the children's collection was right in this place along the other side of the building. So it was very different to now what we came up with. So throughout several discussions as a group, the library team came up with the decision to rearrange the furniture in the layout that you see today. So there was different opinions and different factors that were considered, but one of the primary forces that we decided on was to solidify each collection to give it its own identity. So as you can see, the children's department is now housed back in this area. This is the young adult department, and then across the middle we have the adult collection. So it was a very rewarding project, I think, for a lot of us because we really came together. As you can see, there's several staff kind of taking on each role that they were assigned. And this was through the process of creating a workflow kind of document where we outline exactly what needed to be done, what needed to be done in what order, and who needed to do it, just so we can make sure that we maintain as much order in the collection, as well as the safety of the staff members that were involved in the project. So now this is what you see today. Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
We already started the mural under the sea, in the earth sea, and then at the very one on top, another mural. So there's more mural and some artwork along the white background. And maybe right here in this is gonna have some art or something. I don't know.
When is that process going to begin?
It's part of our work plan for this year. There's gonna be some minor disruptions that I'll explain later on, but it's part of the work plan. So it's once it's in the work plan, we will be doing it.
Any other questions or comments? Our next item is discussion and action on establishment of community task force.
Again, as discussed previously, we're gonna ask the board to establish a committee task force. And basically, they're gonna be reading about as to where we improve from a different perspective. That is not, sometimes you don't see what the board is for somebody from the outside. And I would gladly invite maybe two of you guys to be part of that. I'll leave it to you, as parents, or to the library, whomever, that can give an input so we can provide the best service possible. We don't do enough to take some perspective.
Do you want a task force for South Coast and a task force for the Marine Drive, or do you want it for the whole city?
For the whole city.
But then you're gonna need reps from both there.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
Just curious, how often would you want a community task force to meet?
You decide.
Okay.
You decide. The amount of however many you want, whether 9, 11, 15, and then they'll report to you. You guys, people, we have a very experience stakeholders in this. It is always to provide the best solution. Especially now, in this situation is outside the box. But it's up to you. You decide the amount of members, how often they meet.
I would recommend that we all think about this again for the next meeting and come in with your recommendation. Hopefully we give Juan a recommendation. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Any other questions or comments?
I'm gonna say something, even though I'm not a board member, but I like, just because you get less traffic here at the Southwest Branch, I think it has to be slightly different. And so during this COVID time, they've been using there was a time when they were using this for mass food distribution. And it was nice to see because there's a lot of people who live back here. And elderly people will walk, even when now we have them at the state of middle school. There's a lot of people who walk here. It's a much more pedestrian area than other parts of town. And so even if they don't come just to use either the internet or the books, it'd be nice to provide a service so that they want to come. I don't know, like a community center. This is a great place also when you come to vote, and just to drive more traffic, I think, of all ages, also the kids. That's just something that I would like to see.
I agree.
Maybe that's something that the task force can.
We're working with the wellness coalition or something to bring some
So select somebody, the part of the task force, select somebody that will be more keen to that. Yeah, most definitely.
Or different events to drive people here.
Would you like to be in the Tiffany?
Oh yeah, I'll show up. even if you don't do it, yeah. I'll show up.
And what time are we closing the gates here at Southmost? Because that's another thing, you know, like as it gets darker earlier now, people have less opportunity to do the sort of like community walks and things that we need to be doing, especially during COVID.
Yeah, so that's a good question. We close 30 minutes after 6 o'clock, right? 6:50, okay. But we're about to hopefully increase our hours of curbside. And eventually we want, even if we're not open, we want to close until 9 o'clock as we normally do, so we can have that.
Okay.
We're moving towards increasing our hours of operation, even if we're not open.
Right.
But that's the thing.
Because that's another advantage that the main library has is having Veterans Park so close by that people like will make a trip there just to go walk, you know, the track. So
Yeah.
I wonder.
Also, if they put in the infrastructure for, I'm not good at the computer stuff, because we do have bad reception in this part. Even I who live closer to Boca Chica, sometimes I have spotty reception. So if kids do need it, although right now PISD is trying to do good about providing the hotspots
With the
and
buses
the buses, yeah. But maybe if that drives people. I use this place to print out stuff, and I have to commend y'all on the access collection because I never used it up until the pandemic. And
We had the highest, about 50,000 people in top there.
no, I'm very pleased because I'll look up books and then they don't have them, but then I'll look again like 2 or 3 weeks later, and then all of a sudden you have it. So that's great.
Any other comments or questions on the task force? Okay, our next item, discussion of reorganization of the library.
Yes, okay, let me bring the board. The library for the longest time was under the Public Information Services Department. Okay, and the director of that department was Jerry Hitchcock. Jerry has since retired. A year ago, in October, I brought to you that the city was going through a total alignment organization, and some departments were combined, some departments were created. So one of the departments that was created was the Communications and Marketing Department. Well, the Public Information Services Department, which the library was one part of, that department also had all the computer guys for the automation. And then they also had Brownsville TV. And they also had currently, we had the digital production team. So a year ago, all of our computer guys went to another department that was created, combined with MIS, called Enterprise Applications. So we lost those people to that. It doesn't mean that they don't help us, but they went to another department. And then we also lost Brownsville TV to Communications and Marketing Department. This year, basically the Public Information Services Department, Jerry, and the Graphics Department was dissolved. The staff that we have now that can be moved to Communication and Marketing Production team, and we'll be moving there, so we lost that. Here. At the end of the day, it's going to help us with the mural, but they're under another person. And then our Catholic team, and I will close. Our Catholic team will be moved to internal services to help out in other services like records management or any other thing where they need it. They're called track team. So what it is now, I will be left as the library director and then the 2 branches. Again, staff will be organized to be perfect somewhere else, but they are going to help us. So to answer the question about the murals, our staff that was in-house under the Public Information Services will be under the Communication Department, but they'll be helping us. So basically, it's somewhere else that's going to help out.
So just not housed in the actual physical library, but still.
Perhaps, yeah, initially they'll be housed, they need to find out the business, but they'll be under the director.
I see, the new director.
Sure. And let me give you an example. For the longest time, and right now it's a perfect example, the ACs, you see a delivery stuff, it went down. for the internal services department in our city. So anytime the AP went down, we had to get reports, purchasing procedures to the patient. We'll be up to a month without AC. Now in internal services, they do it, voila, because we should be getting AC on Wednesday. So it's to better organize the city. Nothing happened other than just reorganize to better serve. Okay.
So the changes have been beneficial, I guess, for you guys?
Yes, it's beneficial. It's a little bit that the staff going to have to get used to it. Because there'll be some changes, like cafe staff, we're not going to be having cafe staff anymore. Because cafe is not open. When we do open back, in those things that have used the cafe, we not only use cafes, they're all cafe staff. We have primary staff. I've been at the cafe. So we might open, but with our staff. Maybe at a limit service, instead of 10 outlets, we have 5. The 50 reserved, maybe 5. And then that's how we're going to do. But right now, the best thing citywide to move the staff.
So if with total alignment, which I get that, I understand the restructuring. So then if public information was dissolved, then what's the reporting structure for the library?
I report directly to Ms. Walker, who is the assistant manager. In other words, Garrett's position will not be replaced.
Yeah, so it's a flatter
Yes.
organization.
Yes.
That's good.
The library is another department, per se.
Any other questions or comments?
Based on an old agenda, we had talked about having benches in front of the main library outside for some of these elderly people that get picked up and did ever get it anywhere. I know right on Brownsville, but.
It was thought of at one point we were going to expand the main of the parking lot, but I'll tell you what we've done. I need to talk to them with Roxanne. The only major issue that we have right now is the roof, the issue with the roof, the main branch. So maybe in that context, it was really planned to be.
Two people benches for the elderly
So then maybe
to sit there and wait.
Then maybe
They have fans and they're waiting for whoever's gonna pick them up, and we're like, we're gonna be outside waiting instead of they have to, they're for the ride.
Jump into other business.
Sorry.
Any other business?
Okay, gotcha.
Definitely.
Okay.
No other business? Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
The only thing is, if you would like, we can give you a tour.
So we can do the tour.
Besides the visual.
Do we have a motion to adjourn? All right, Colin, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
All right. The meeting has been adjourned. If you need anything from me, just go ahead and if you need that some of the paperwork that they offer during the meeting, just let me know and I'll email it to you. Okay, Ms. Lehman, Ms. Walker, and Ms. Leslie.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Miss you guys. Next time, hopefully.
Yes.
Bye. Bye, Juan. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you
Talk to
so
you.
much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Ms. Walker.
I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Asking about folders?
I have the binders at the office. I didn't bring them with me. But I will, if they want me to put them in their folders, I'll put it in their folders for them. Bye, guys.